All right, family, today we got a powerful presentation. We dealing with Nubia, the great mother of ancient Egypt. And this must be understood because, these so-called Egyptologists have always tried to separate Egypt and Nubia. You see, and the Nubians was Negroes, and the Egyptians is what whoever they wanted them to be. Whether they couldn't find no outside source for ancient Egypt. So they created this mythological origin of ancient Egypt, separating it from ancient Nubia. But it was clear that Nubia was the source of all the culture. You see, the rituals, the ceremonies, the architectural ingenuity. It's mind blowing that people don't even understand that, they try to, pretend that the Nubian or the 25th dynasty that they were mimicking ancient Egypt. Egypt had fallen down. People don't understand that. This must be made clear. You see, you had Ramesses III, who ruled 1186 to 1155 BC. That's the 20th dynasty. After Ramesses III, the new kingdom collapses. Okay, from that point on, after Ramesses III, Egypt deteriorated. It fractionalized. It was no longer under a unified ruler. Okay, it was no longer under, you had the Libyans ruling in Lower Egypt. You had the priest of Amen ruling out of Waset. So Egypt had fractionalized. And so, for over 400 years, it literally was over with. It was literally over with, and out of nowhere, like a flower that bloomed in the middle of the desert. The 25th dynasty, PHARAOHS, come up from the south, grab Egypt up. You see, the brother nation, the sister nation stood it up on his feet once again, reminded them of their greatness. But had to let them know, you got to tap back in. Thank you, family. You got to tap back in. You didn't lost your way. Egypt began to, as it went into the empire age, it relied too much on them nations on the outside, instead of tapping in on the connection and the root on the inside. That's what happened. Akhenaten. We have to tell it like it is. You see, because Egypt deteriorated. This is why you see in the after the 18th dynasty, the 19th dynasty, Ramesses I, Seti I, Seti, you see, he tapped back in to Ta-Seti. See, which is one of the divine names of Nubia. Ta-Seti had to tap back in, and go to the ancestral root. That's like a lot of them earlier kings. They had Set in their Shirak. They were also kings of Set. And so when they disconnected from the southern root, they disconnected from their ancestors, the energy that created Egypt in the first place. And so, again, after Ramesses III, you talking about between Ramesses III, the last king, pharaoh of the new kingdom, and PHARAOHS, you're talking about almost 400 years. Some of them say 450. So the Nubians were not mimicking Egypt. This shows that they had the ingenuity all along, that they were the source of what it was. Because the thing is about the 25th dynasty, they were keen on reestablishing old kingdom traditions. You see, they went to the old kingdom, the pyramid building. You see, they went back to the veneration of Amun. And see, that's the one thing about the 25th dynasty, that they were about spirituality. You see, many of the sisters of Pianki, they held position of high priestess of Amun that even a lot of the sisters of Kemet did not hold positions like that. So they was about spirituality. They were about restoring my cosmic order. You see, whereas when the Greeks came in, the Romans came in, the Persians come in, they want to destroy African custom, bring in their gods, their traditions. You see, but here it is, Pianki. He lifted his brother nation up and say, look, this is who you are. I'm gonna help you. You see, we're gonna help you. We love you. Let's work this out. And so, this was, and people have to understand that this was empire. That, they don't want to talk about that. They pharaohs, but they, in the sense, they emperors. You see, because Pianki and Shabaka, Taaka, you see, all the great kings, these were emperors in the sense, because Egypt and Nubia were two separate nations. And so when they united Nubia and Egypt, that became an empire. You see, and then they went even into the Levant, into Canaan. You see, because you read in the Bible where Taaka even comes up to help the Israelites against what's his name? Answer Bono. I forget this guy's name. He's a Persian, a Syrian. You see, and so the Ethiopians come up to defend the Israelites, because that was their brothers and sister nation up there. And they knew if Canaan or Phoenicia fell, then Egypt knew that they would be next in line of attack. So if they attack Canaan, they attack Phoenicia, then the Ethiopians and the Egyptians rose up to defend that sister nation. And so they brought prosperity to the whole, even though they could not maintain it forever. They maintained it for 100 years. You see, and so that was, as Dr. Clark say, Egypt's last walk in the sun. The last walk in the sun. And people have to understand that the Nubian pyramid age came almost 1,500 years after. They were not mimicking. That was where the ingenuity was always with the Nubians. People they were not mimicking. They brought forth a new golden age of pyramid building 1,500 years after the Egyptian, and it lasted longer than the pyramid age of Egypt. The pyramid age of Nubia lasted over 1,000 years, where, answer Bonaparte or whatever, you put it in there, and answer Bonaparte. You see, I get it, but that's close enough. So, over 1,000, where Egypt's pyramid age only lasted 500 to 550 years, starting with Zosia 26, 30 to I believe it was Pepi II, which was 2180 BC. But where, starting with the 25th dynasty, 750 BC, all the way up to 350 CE. So the Nubians were still building pyramids into the AD period, into the Common Era. And this is very significant. So we have to see that this was ingenuity, African ingenuity, and that they brother You see, the mother, and let me, that's the brother, but mother, the great mother of ancient Kemet, again, once again, in the 25th dynasty, breathed life into Egypt once again. Appreciate y'all being here with the general. Make sure you like the video, share the video, comment. Let me know what you think about this information. If it's powerful, if you want to add on something in the comment, please do. And thank you for your support. And I'll see you real soon. Peace and black power. Boom.